Hi friends! Welcome to today's Pick a Card Tarot reading. Today we are doing a yes or no tarot video. So I'm really excited to give you another one of these. It's been a minute. I apologize for my extended leave of absence. I was moving, had to come into a new apartment. I had to find an apartment, get the apartment, move into the apartment. It's been a very hectic month, but I'm in my new place. I'm settled in. I'm settling in. I couldn't find my normal tiger's eye pendulum, but I have this from this 1960s Kresner psychic board game I found at the thrift store. This fun little mid-century modern plastic pendulum. So we're gonna use that today. So I've got three. Shoot. We just have two methods of generating it. Okay, well, we're gonna do two coins today and the pendulum. So sorry for that, friends, but like I said, I just moved. So we've got three different methods for generating a yes or no answer: two coins and one pendulum. We got my handy little Mercury that'll be in each one, and then you've got a second coin on each pile, plus the pendulum. So that's how it's going to be today. Hopefully you enjoy that as much as you enjoyed everything else. I still like to do that because with three methods, you get either a triple yes, a triple no, or a maybe, which is way more useful to me than just one or the other. And with just two options, that can introduce some serious chaos. I think that we have enough chaos in the world right now. I don't need to keep introducing that into you guys for your readings, right? You come to these for clarity, not for chaos. So we're gonna keep that in mind. Let's just make sure everything is out of the... Oh, it's just this. Do you like my new table? This was a table that was in my house for a long time that I sanded and finally made nice for my new place because it's so small. My new place is pretty tiny. I'm in a single apartment, a studio, pretty tiny studio, but it's beautiful for me. It's my own place. I got my own independence. I'm so excited, friends. So anyway, you've heard enough of me. Let's get into your readings. So we've got 5 different piles for you to choose from today with a yes or no answer. We've got pile number 1, pile number 2, pile number 3, pile number 4, and pile number 5. I got cards from a bunch of different decks, including the Shamanic Healing Oracle with this reading today. I love the Shamanic Healing Oracle. It's one of my absolute favorites, and I haven't been using it in a minute, so it'll be nice to kind of give you that as well. So as well as the clarity. So you'll get, from this reading, you'll get a yes or no answer or a maybe. Then you'll get a reading with a lot of information to kind of explain what that yes or no answer is talking about. And then it will end each reading with a reading from the Shamanic Healing Oracle, which I'll read directly from the book for those, to just give you some further insight with somebody else's words, not just my own. So anyway, without further ado, we're going to jump in. Remember, you have pile number 1, pile number 2, pile number 3, pile number 4, and pile number 5. So just check out the description section of this video below for a link to the reading. Hey there, pile number 1. Welcome to your reading. This is your reading for what is the answer to your yes or no question. So I'm really excited. We're going to dive in. You chose the pile with this really cool Eisenhower $1 coin. Probably, I think, one of the coolest coins in the US Mint. For a while, I was collecting coins, so you'll notice I have a lot from all over the world. But this is one of my favorites. Just because it's got space on it. It's outer space. This eagle's on the moon. So cool. So anyway, whoops. We'll do that. We're gonna flip one coin, and then everybody this week, because I don't know where my dice are because I just moved, we're doing 2 coins. You also get the Mercury coin. So Mercury is going to be it's the Mercury dime, another really wonderful one from the US Mint. Probably the only one with an actual deity on it, which is kind of cool. Unless, you talk about the personification of liberty. She's on a lot of coins as well. But anyway, so we got 2 coins to flip, plus the pendulum. We will start out with the pendulum because I think that's how I normally start these. So first for the pendulum, we just have to, can you see it? Yeah, you can see it. Okay, so we just gotta make sure the pendulum is working with some yes or no questions. So first question is, am I in my new apartment? Yes, I am. Am I wearing shoes right now? Nope, I'm not. Correct, pendulum. Am I looking at a stuffed animal pig right now? Yes, I am. Comes from my grandmother. She made it herself, which is pretty cool. She's German, so the pig in German symbolism is pretty prevalent. It means, you know, wealth and prosperity and stuff. So it's pretty cool. Anyway, yeah. So what's the answer to pile number 1's question? All right, pile number 1, I'm feeling a strong yes. So we're gonna call it yes. Pendulum says yes. Let's look at the coins. First coin is a no. You got a tails from the coin. So 1 yes, 1 no. Second coin is a heads. So that's a yes. Okay, so you are a maybe, pile number 1. Oh geez, this is gonna ding my table up. Oh well, that's okay. Strong table. We've got 1 yes, 2 yeses and 1 no. So it's a maybe leaning yes. We don't know exactly why that's the case, so we'll ask the cards a little bit more details, but it's a maybe, but it's a maybe in the yes direction. So most likely yes, probably yes, but there's a few things in the way that are making it not a full yes. So there's just some stuff that could come up, or it's just not quite yes, but it's almost there. You're very, very close to a yes. So let's look at the cards. First we have from the Fairytale Lenormand, we've got the stork. Okay, so just right off the bat, if you're asking about pregnancy, you know, with a possibly yes, that's kind of your answer there, right? Because the stork talks about babies and stuff like that. So potentially, but you could be asking about a lot of different things in this reading, not just about pregnancy. So if it's not about pregnancy, you know, this could be talking about new ideas, the birth of a new project, the start of a new thing, new beginnings. You got a lot of that new beginnings energy coming in here. So, you know, you're really setting off on a strong point for a new beginning here. And the thing of it being a maybe, it's sort of like, a lot of times with new beginnings, it's sort of like it's up to you, right? It's like you have everything in your power to make this new beginning happen for you, if that's what you're looking for. If you're trying to make a new start at something, you're trying to bring something new into your life, you have all the tools at your disposal to make that happen. It's just a matter of you going out and doing it, right? So, you know, it's up to you. If you want to make something happen, you can. And with that maybe there, though, it's also saying that if you don't put in the work or you don't try to make something happen, it's not going to happen. It has to come from you. You have to put in the work to make your new beginning happen. You can't just sit back and expect it to happen to you. You've got to jump in the fray and kind of work it and make it happen. But if you do that, with it being a possibly yes, it's that kind of idea. If you put it in the effort, you can try to make it happen. With next card comes from the Wild Unknown Tarot, and you've got the Ace of Cups. So there we go, another new beginnings energy here. This is a strong new beginning coming in for you. I definitely feel that. So whatever you were asking about, this new beginning, it seems like it's coming. It's open for you. So if you were asking about moving someplace or starting a new job or, you know, anything like that, it's looking for a new relationship, you know, any of those things, anything that's a new thing, you know, something new coming into your life, with it being this possibly yes, it's a strong favorability that this new beginning is open for you. With this Ace of Cups energy here too, the aces are always new beginnings and a new start, a new thing, because they're the very first card in the suit. With it being the cups though, that's talking about it being this new beginning towards fulfillment, towards your emotional body, your emotions, love, new love coming into your life, which is why I was talking about relationships, something that's going to bring you happiness. You have a new beginning for your happiness that's open up for you right now. Next up, we have 2 cards from the 1JJ Swiss deck, my favorite tarot deck that's out there. We got the 10 of Pentacles. Holy crap. And we got the Sun. Wow, this is beautiful. Okay, so this really is, you have an opening for a new beginning here that's beautiful. It's going to bring you, the 10 of Pentacles is ultimate abundance. And the Sun is the happiest card in the entire tarot. It just means like everything's going to be all right. It's all going to be fine. So, you know, if you're asking about, should I do something? Should I move? Should I start something new? Should I start a new project? You know, any of those kinds of things. Then the answer is, if you were to do that, it would be a very favorable outcome for you. And it, with being a maybe there, it's sort of, there really is that possibility that it's not like it's, to me, I'm really feeling it's a you thing, not an it thing, right? It's like, this new beginning is here for you. This possibility is here for you. The Sun is here for you. This abundant energy is here for you right now. It's all lining up for you, if you choose it, but you don't have to choose it, right? It's life is about a series of choices. And, you know, for it to be in the maybe there, it's sort of saying, the universe is kind of saying like, you have to be the one to choose this outcome. If you choose this outcome and you follow it, you're going to be successful. You're going to have a lot of happiness from it. You're going to have a lot of beauty opening up to you from that choice. But if you choose not to go that route, which ultimately we live in a free will zone, our lives in this particular dimension and plane of existence right here, right now, where we as human beings are, it's a free will opportunity to explore, which is a very beautiful thing. It means that we don't have to choose anything, you know, there are no have tos or supposed tos in life. We can choose whatever we want. And you know, the guys that I talk to, and I think that you probably do too, that tend to be what most of these tarot channels and groupings on YouTube, you know, are connecting in with these, you know, angels of our better nature, right? Which could be real angels if you conceive of it that way, or could just be, you know, simply humanity trying to move to this next level of opening and awakening and moving forward, right? I don't want to just talk about light beings and dark beings, you know, and that I think it's a transcendence that we're all working on together, as you know, what, at least what I tap into, and what most readers on YouTube that I follow tap into. We're moving into this new phase of being for humanity that's less about good versus evil, good and bad, these like harsh dichotomies, and more of a transcendence of those things into what is the ultimate thing for all beings, you know, all sentient beings. How can we look for the benefit of all sentient beings moving forward through reality? That's, you know, Buddhism is all about that, looking for the, you know, the best things for all sentient beings and being open to that. You know, I'm going off on a tangent here, but anyway, what I mean is that because we have free will, you don't have to choose anything. You can choose whatever you want in life. You can go down whatever route. But if this is a choice that you want, right, which would be very beautiful and beneficial for you, you can choose it. It's open for you, but you don't have to, you know. At the end of the day, you can live whatever life you want. And sometimes we have to choose the route that doesn't bring us this in order to learn important lessons. But if you want this ultimate abundance and this ultimate happiness, this beautiful new beginning for yourself, it's here. It's here and ready for you. You just have to jump for it. You have to jump and take it. And you're being encouraged to do that. Next, we have a card from the Universal Waite Tarot deck. And it is the 10 of Wands. Yeah, so in order to do this, in order to take this new beginning, there are some things you got to let go of. Because the 10 of Wands is this overburdened card. It talks about being overburdened, taking on too much, feeling like you're overwhelmed and you have too much going on. So because you have that card here, it's kind of saying, you know, in order to follow this new beginning, you got to let go of some of these things. What's going on is you see this man, he's walking all of these wands to the village because he thinks the village needs him to do it. He thinks, I'm the only one who can do this, so I have to take on all this weight and this responsibility because that's who I am. The village is counting on me, and if I don't do it, the village is going to be screwed over, and there's nothing else I can do. This is what my lot in life, this is what I have to do, and I just have to do it, you know? And he's not even questioning whether or not that's true. It's just the reality he thinks exists, right? And so because he thinks that reality is the only reality that's there and present for him, he's just going to keep doing it because that's what he believes, you know? But at the end of the day, that's not ultimate truth. That's just his belief, right? That's just how he thinks. That doesn't mean that that's the actual reality of the situation that he's in. It just is what he thinks. He thinks he's the only one who can carry all these sticks and he has to do it. But at the end of the day, excuse me, that's not true. He could put all those sticks down right now, let them rest in the field for a second, go to the village and be like, hey, is there anybody here who can help me carry these sticks? Because it's actually too much for me to carry and I need a hand here. And you would be surprised. There's probably 6 people in that village right now who'd be like, oh my God, yeah, I would love to help you with that. And they're probably like, you know, or they're like, I would love the opportunity to show that I am responsible, you know, because maybe this person is like, oh no, there's no way that you could do that. You know, maybe little Freddie in the village has been trying to show that he could do stuff for the last 6 years, but you've been like, you know what? Freddie can't do it. Nobody can do it. I'm the only one who can do this. It's up to me. Nobody else can do it. But in reality, Freddie was perfectly capable, and now Freddie is going to have the opportunity to show not just you, but the whole village that he can take on responsibility. And that's great, you know? So we can talk about community and having community open to you, you know? Are there responsibilities out there that you can give to Freddie? You know what I mean? Like, who is the Freddie in your life that you can be like, hey, you know what? Can you help me with this? Because it's just a little too much for me. And you'd be surprised, there is somebody in your life right here, right now, who could help you with those situations. And really, you know, then you can work all together. And it's like, that's what's great about that, is that now you're removing yourself. Ooh, horn, that means synchronicity. Like that's confirmation from my guides whenever I hear horns honking. So this is an important message for you. What is the Freddie in your situation? You know, whatever that is for you. Where are you in your life where you feel all alone? That's what I was about to talk about. Where you feel all alone, right? Right now, this person feels very isolated and lonely because he's doing this. But once he starts sharing those responsibilities with the village, he actually is starting to build himself a community where you all start to work together. So where can you build community in your life? You know, by sharing these responsibilities, whatever that is, you know, and that's what's going to help you bring in this positive new beginning, is sharing stuff with life, you know, sharing your life with other people and building this new community for yourself and for other people, because it's not just about you. You won't just be building a community for yourself. You'll be building the community for everyone else who's involved as well. Next up, we have a card for my hand-drawn deck. I drew this deck myself, and it is the High Priestess, Junon, in my deck, because it's in French. I based it off of the Swiss deck, my favorite deck, and so that's Le Soleil. Like, the Swiss deck is also in French, so I just kind of made mine in French as well. But anyway, you know, what you got here is the High Priestess. And the High Priestess is this really deeply incredible card because she's all about your intuition. She's the most intuitive, highly intuitive of all of the cards. And so for her to show up here, it's really saying, like, in order to understand what you need to let go of and tap into this new beginning, it's really asking you to go within and to follow your intuition. Because at the end of the day, your intuition is deeply connected with your higher self, which, you know, you can call it the higher self, the inner self. There's many different names for the same kind of thing. Basically what it means is it's like the self that is you beyond you, you know, it's like the ultimate version of you, the you that knows what you really want at the end of the day, and what would bring you ultimate happiness for you and your life. And so to have this come up is saying, listen within, listen to your intuition, because your intuition is giving you the right answer for the situation, and it's going to help you bring in this new beginning that's deeply possible for you if you so choose. Final card we have from the Shamanic Healing Oracle is Sexual Energy. Okay, so that connects right in with this with this high priestess energy. The sexual energy is the same. It's the sacral chakra. It's that same, it's the creative force. It's our creativity. It's that energy that connects in with this, you know, this high priestess energy. It's like the Kundalini force. If you want to look that up, it's that same kind of thing. It's like connecting all of your chakra points together into your higher self, so you get those downloads, you get that information from, you know, the other realms that's going to help you bring in this new beginning. So it's really asking you to be connected. And maybe this is a project, you know, maybe it's an artistic project or something like that. And so you're just like, you've got this highly creative energy that's coming in for you. I'm going to read it from the book because the words from the book might have some further understanding for you that I can't give you without those words. So here they are. In the purest sense, sexual energy is not an energy to be expanded from you. It is a state to reside in. The first and second chakras are the root of our sexual feelings. When you use this very potent energy to manipulate people and situations, you are doing yourself a huge disservice. When you expand your life force energy from your first two chakras and incorporate that energy from your heart and your crown, this is that Kundalini rising energy I was just talking about, you can experience the most complete and divine experience of sexual energy possible. This doesn't even have to include another person. When you can merge your connection to the Creator with your connection to the earth, without any filters or blocks between the two, you will experience a complete and true connection. We act as the conduit between heaven and earth, and when we can put ourselves into this energy at any given time, we are not tempted to use our sexual energy in a way that feeds our need for validation, nor are we easily manipulated by another's outputting of sexual energy. This energy is asking you to look at where sexual energy is directed in your life. So there you go. I don't know if that's helpful for you or not, but you got it. Anyway, pile number one, that was my reading for you. I hope that it resonates. Feel free to let me know in the comments what you think of it either way. I love hearing from you. If you want a more detailed private reading from me, I have them available on my website. You can check that out at www.junodrome.com. And I have a Patreon where you can get more bonus content from me. That's available at patreon.com/junodrome. So anyway, friends, thanks for joining with me. Welcome back to my channel. I'm super excited to keep bringing you more regular stuff. And yeah, that's it for me. I hope you have a wonderful day, and I will catch you later. Pile number one. See ya! Hey there, pile number two. Welcome to your reading. This is, what is the answer to your yes or no question? We've got 3 different methods for generating a yes or a no. Normally I have a die and a coin and a pendulum. I just moved, so I don't know in which box my dice are in right now. So you've got 2 coins and a pendulum this week. And the pendulum, as you can see, is a little different than my Tiger's Eye one. This one comes from this 1960s board game called Kresner's Psychic Realms or something like that. It's this like fun little psychic board game thing from the 60s. So we're gonna just do the pendulum first to get a yes or a no, and then we'll keep going. First I gotta ask it some questions just to triangulate it. So am I in my new apartment right now? Yes, I am. Perfect. Am I staring at some boxes? Yes, I am. And am I wearing shoes right now? No, I am not. Perfect. Okay, what is the answer to pile number 2's question, pendulum? All right, pile number 2, the pendulum says yes. So you've got 1 yes. Let's keep asking. We'll do the Mercury coin. This one I'm using in all the decks today. So yes or no, heads is yes, tails is no. Oh, you got a heads, so 2 yeses so far. So 2 yeses. Let's ask the final coin. It's this buffalo nickel. Yes or no? No. Okay, so this is two yeses and a no. That means a maybe, possibly yes, leaning yes, a maybe leaning yes. So we'll look at the cards now and see what's up with that and try to get a better understanding of where you're at. So first card is the lilies. Okay, so with the lilies here, to me, it just reminds me of the lotus energy, right? It's this idea that the lotus in Eastern philosophy, it represents this idea of something growing out of the mud, right? It's like the most beautiful and complicated and wonderful of the flowers that exist. The lotus flower, it blooms from the deep, deep muddy muck, right? It's like in this muck and mud and gross stuff blooms this beautiful, incredible, lovely flower. So it's like, that's kind of the idea that we might be in these incredibly complicated situations that seem dark and hard and difficult. But at the end of the day, you can bloom into this beautiful flower having been through that. It's like you have to go through that mud and that muck in order to bloom into this beautiful flower. It's like even these difficult and dark and hard situations that we go through in life can lead us to this ultimately beautiful, wonderful outcome. So it's like being able to change that perspective. And this card actually has that exact same kind of symbolism through fairy tales, because it's the Fairytale Lenormand. See, you've got the crown prince here. It's a frog, a toad, who's actually a prince. He's wearing this crown, and all you have to do is kiss it, and kissing a frog sounds gross and disgusting, but then he blooms or transforms into this beautiful, lovely prince, right? So it's kind of that same energy, that frog prince idea. So I don't know exactly what's going on with you in your situation, but with it being a maybe there was maybe whatever's going on, you feel like you wanted to know, or you feel like you wanted a yes, and maybe you're going to get a yes, but in order to get to that yes, you have to go through some no's, you know what I mean? You have to go through some situations that don't necessarily seem the best for you or the best situation, or you might be going through stuff that just seems really difficult and awful, but you have to go through that stuff in order to get to that ultimate outcome that you're looking for, right? Does that make sense? So let's keep asking the cards for some more information. We've got the Wild Unknown Tarot here. You've got the Ten of Pentacles. Okay, so that's ultimate abundance, right? So the ultimate outcome of your situation is probably going to be this like beautiful, abundant energy here. But remember, in order to get to that, you might have to do some mudslinging first. You might have to be deep in the mud and the muck. And maybe that means, doing some shadow work. Sometimes this can be shadow work information as well. In order to get to this abundance, in order to be in this abundant energy, you've got to let go and release a lot of things that are within you, right? It's like abundance comes if you believe in the power of attraction, which I deeply do. The power of attraction is all about your thoughts dictating what comes and enters into your life, right? It's this idea that our thoughts control our reality, that the thoughts that we have persistently, and it's persistent thoughts. It's not the thoughts one at a time. You can have a depressing thought every now and then, like it's important to feel your feelings. Don't shut them down because you're like, oh my God, if I feel this thing, then it's gonna block my abundance or whatever. Like, no, that's not what I'm saying. It's like, actually, it's like the opposite of that is what I'm trying to talk about right now. The idea is that it's your thoughts in aggregate that control your situation. And so it's deeply, deeply important to ask yourself, okay, what is my subconscious programming here that's changing and manipulating and controlling my world? Because it's the subconscious thoughts that mean the most, because those are the ones that are really kind of dictating your reality. And so in order sometimes to let go of some of these challenging subconscious thoughts that we have of ourselves, it's important to do this conscious shadow work. And you might want to Google shadow work. There's some important stuff in there. I do have one reading on shadow work that you might find in my old readings. I'll probably do another one again soon because I haven't done those in a while. But for shadow work, it's like this idea that it's the stuff that in your life, in your mind, in your thoughts, in your conditioning that you don't want to look at. That's what shadow work is. So the things that you don't pay attention to that are just going on in the background of your subconscious, like those are actually controlling your actions and your life more than you realize it. And so when you learn how to let those things go, it's about facing them head on, facing those things within you that you don't want to face. And it's challenging and difficult to do that. But once you do that, you've done that work and you don't have to do it again. Or, you might have to do it periodically, right? It's like we all have shadow and it comes in all the time. It's a point of, a part of being alive is subconsciously, accidentally burying things within us instead of facing them head on. It's so much easier to just bury it than it is to face it sometimes, until you start to get in the rhythm of doing it. So, don't be hard on yourself. It's okay to do this kind of thing. It happens all the time. But you're just being encouraged with this reading to do that kind of shadow work, to let go of any kind of subconscious muddy muck stuff that you have, so that you can blossom into this flower, because you have this abundant energy that wants to come into your life. It's here for you. It's just a matter of you jumping for it. And in order to do that, you got to let go of some things. Let's keep moving on. We've got the 1JJ Swiss deck here, and we got the Four of Cups, which is very similar to what I've been talking about. The Four of Cups is this idea that the universe is trying to give a person, as it's drawn in the Rider-Waite-Smith deck, the universe is trying to give you this one cup here, but you are so focused on these three cups that aren't coming to you, or that aren't working, the things in your life that aren't working, that you're not even seeing the opportunity, this abundant energy that wants to come into your life. And so it's really important, in order for you to learn how to see the abundance that wants to come into you, you have to let go of focusing on these three cups. And that letting go process is a subconscious thing. You're subconsciously acting within your programming as you are, so much so that you don't even realize that you're doing this, most likely. And so in order to let go of these three cups, in order to stop looking at these three cups and focus on the one that's right for you, it's important to look within and to do that shadow work, to say, oh, this is my subconscious programming that's dictating my actions right now. And in fact, I have the power within me to let go of this mode of thinking, to transform my consciousness into a new way of thinking, so that I can flow into this abundant energy, and I can start focusing on the gifts that the universe is trying to give me. And that comes from, getting out of this lack mentality. It's so easy to fall into a lack mentality. Trust me, I've been in it for most of my life. You stop focusing on the things that you wish were in your life, and because by focusing on the things you want in your life, you're sometimes, instead of focusing on those things, you're actually focusing on the fact that you don't have those things. And so by doing that, you're perpetuating the fact that you don't have those things. It's changing that to, what am I thankful for right now? What am I thankful for that I actually do? What do I have in my life? What is present in my life that I'm actually thankful to have? And that is what you focus on. You focus on the things that you do have, not on the things that you don't have, and by doing that, what are you grateful for? Practicing gratitude. Oh my gosh. Gratitude is some of the most powerful, potent magic that we have in this lifetime to change our circumstances into a much more positive plane of existence for ourselves. Honestly, it truly works. There are some incredible gratitude meditations on YouTube. Feel free to look those up. And in fact, I think that's something I'm going to do soon. I do have one meditation on my channel, but I'd like to do more in the future. And I think a gratitude meditation would be really helpful for me to give you, because I keep recommending them. But it's so true. Practicing gratitude is so helpful. It really is, because then you start changing your perspective to, oh my God, I wish I had this, and ugh, life is so gross because I don't have all these things, to, wow, I'm so thankful I have this. There's always something in life to be thankful for. Always something to be thankful for. So for you to have gotten this maybe leaning yes, in order to make it an absolute yes, you have to change your perspective, because all of those things want to come into your life. Remember, the universe is trying to give you what you want. That abundance energy is present for you right now. It's just a matter of, are you going to change your perspective so you can allow it into your life? Or are you going to keep maintaining a perspective that blocks it from coming to you? Next up, we have one card from the Universal Waite Deck, and it is the Six of Pentacles, which is, yeah, Six of Pentacles, which is this balance energy. It's all about balancing of these forces, right? And asking for help. So it's like, if you need help with that process of shadow work, if you need help with figuring out what it is in your programming you want to let go of, there's help available to you. Don't forget that. It could be as simply as watching a ton more of these tarot videos. There's a lot of my favorite readers on here, and so probably yours as well, have readings about what shadow work do you need to do. That can help you. You could get a private reading either with me or with another fellow reader. There's so many on YouTube who have those readings. If you want to go a more traditional psychological route, counselors can be incredibly helpful for learning what you need to let go of. So don't knock counseling. Don't be afraid of counseling. There's plenty of counselors out there who will work with your spirituality, who won't call you crazy for being spiritual. Trust me, I've seen a counselor many times in my life. So just there's options out there for you to ask for help. Don't be afraid to ask for help when you need it. And also, you know, once you go through this process, you will be available to help others as well. It's that balance, that give and take. It's like, not only there are aspects of your life, there are wisdom that you have present within you that can help other people too. So, you know, just because you ask for help from somebody doesn't mean that you are not actively wise, right? You have your own wisdom that you can give help to other people. It's that balance, that give and take. Not all of us have all of the answers, but we do have answers that can help other people. So you have answers within you that are deeply helpful for other people and the people around you. Don't forget that. And don't allow yourself to not think that, even if you ask help from other people, right? It's a balance. We all need help sometimes. And then we all have the ability to help others sometimes. It's all about that, you know, that balance. Next up, we have 3 cards from my hand-drawn deck. They just, all 3 wanted to come out. I only wanted 1, but it was like, no, these are the 3. So here we go. You've got the 4 of Wands. You've got the Ace of Pentacles, and you've got the 7 of Swords. Okay, interesting. So, you know, the 7 of Swords sometimes can be about walking away from any situation. So I'm just tying that back into that shadow work that we had to do, that you need to do. It's like walking away from the thought processes within you that are holding you back. It's time to really look at those, really see them, really, and do it with the eyes of compassion, right? It's not a bad thing to have these things blocking you, right? It's like, we all have it. It's not like it's not some horrible thing that at the end of the day is like, oh my God, I can't believe I have this, right? It's like, remember, everybody's got their thing. Everybody's got their subconscious blockages that have been holding them back. And it's just the people who look at themselves with the deep eyes of compassion, who look at themselves with the idea that, you know, it's okay that I have these problems and I'm going to address them now. You know, I'm going to address them and make my life better because I deserve it, because I'm worth it. I love myself enough to improve myself. I love myself enough to help myself, right? I love myself enough to ask for help when I need it. When you do that, when you walk away from the things that aren't working anymore, you open up this new beginning towards abundance, right? Ultimate abundance wants to come into you, and here it is being doubly reflected with that Ace of Pentacles. It's here for you. It's time for you. It's just you got to move into a new frame of mind. And when you do that, we have the homecoming card here as well. That's the 4 of Wands. So it's like, it's going to be coming home to yourself, coming into a sense of love and joy for yourself and for your life in this beautiful homecoming kind of atmosphere. So anyway, those were your tarot cards. We've got one final card from the Shamanic Healing Oracle that I'm going to read from the book so you get some other people's words. And it is the Perception card. Oh my God, this is exactly what I've been talking about this whole time. This ties right back into that Eastern philosophy of the lotus flower. it's that exact same kind of a thing, because you can see you have the yin and yang symbol here, which talks about this reflection of forces, right? Good and bad are two sides of the same coin, and they're subjective. The light and the dark exist together. You cannot have all dark or all light. Even the dark has a dollop of the light within it, and even the light has a dollop of the dark within it. It is that equal, transcendent balance, that non-dualistic identity in thinking. So let me read from that here. With energy, sometimes a slight shift in perception is all that's needed, right? This is exactly what I've been talking about, changing your perspective. Remember, nature strives to retain balance. It is only our perception and labels that cause us to think otherwise. Is there a situation in your life that you are viewing from a very rigid perspective? Are you certain that you are at the center of all the drama around you? Perhaps cultivating the ability to step outside of the drama and see the issue from every different viewpoint will shift your judgment of this person or situation from intolerable to simply it is. And as it is, it won't remain so for long. Letting go of the tether that holds you to a certain viewpoint also frees the situation up to go the natural way to get back into balance. So there you go. I think that ties it all in together so well. Pile number 2, that was my reading for you. I hope that it resonates. Feel free to let me know in the comments what you think of it either way. I love hearing from everybody. If you ever want a private reading with me, I can get way more detailed about your life and your personal situation. So feel free to check out my website for those at www.junodrum.com. I've got a couple options available there. And feel free to check out my Patreon at patreon.com/junodrum. I got some bonus content there you can't get anywhere else. So anyway, pile number 2, that was my reading for you. I will see you soon. Thank you so much for joining me. Catch you later. Hey there, pile number 3. Welcome to your reading. This is your reading for what is the answer to your yes or no question. So, normally I have 3 different methods for generating a yes or a no. Normally I have a die as the second method, but unfortunately I just moved, and so I don't know in which box the dice are in. So instead of doing that, we got 2 coins today in the pendulum, so bear with me on that. You might notice this is a different pendulum than my normal tiger's eye one, because I couldn't find that either. So I have from this 1960s board game, this it's called Kresner's Psychic something or other, but it had this cool little mid-century 60s plastic pendulum, so we're going to use that instead. And I got those coins. So we'll start with the pendulum for generating a yes or a no. I got to ask it a couple questions to triangulate the reading. So am I barefoot right now? Yes, I am. Am I sitting in my new apartment? You know it. And is this table black? All right, that moved to a no. It is not black. All right, what is the answer to pile number 3's question? All right, pile number 3, the pendulum is saying no. So the pendulum is no, that's 1 no. Let's talk to the coins to see what is the answer. So your first coin is the Mercury dime. Yes or no, heads is yes, tails is no. All right, you got a tail, so that's 2 no's. We've got 2 no's so far. We're gonna ask this final coin, which is a 70s peso from Mexico, I think. Yep. So heads is yes, tails is no. What is the answer? You got a heads. Okay, so it's a maybe leaning no. We got a leaning no, 2 no's and 1 yes. It's still a maybe, so there is still a chance for it to be a yes, but right now, with all conditions as they are, it is leaning towards a no. So with it being a maybe though, it's like if you wanted it to be a yes, you can still make it a yes, but there's certain conditions that need to be met in order for that to happen. Because as of right now, if you just continue on as things are going, it's probably going to be a no. So if you want to know though, it's a good chance it's going to be a no, but there's still some conditions that are unknown. So we're going to look at the cards to try to get a better picture and understanding of what's going on in your situation. First up comes from the Fairytale Lenormand. We've got the heart. Okay, so this is really, with it being a heart here, you're really being asked to connect into your heart center for your answers here. So, you know, for it to be a question, it's a maybe. This is a definite maybe. So it's like, to get a definitive answer to this reading, your heart center is going to know, your heart is going to give you the best way forward. More than any reading or anything like that, your heart has the answer for you, not your mind. So you're really being encouraged to connect to your heart center right now. I would even recommend looking up heart-centered meditations. There are plenty of them out there. It's really slowing your mind and moving your perspective into your heart space, awakening your heart chakra and allowing the answers to flow through you, flow through your heart. What is the most compassionate answer for yourself? What is going to make your heart sing? And you can ask yourself the question too, if you slow down, slow your breathing, I'll practice a little bit with you right now. Breathe in, breathe out. Put your hand on your heart as you're doing this. Breathe in, breathe out. And as your breath slows, breathe in, breathe out. And your heart rate slows, breathe in, breathe out. Ask your heart the question. So say, heart, what is the answer to my question? And you can ask your question again. And your heart is going to give you the right answer all the time. So just slow down, ask your heart the question, and then the answer that comes to you in that slow, beautiful, light energy, that's going to be the real answer to your question. So anyway, it's still a maybe. It's a maybe leaning no, so it still is leaning no for a lot of people, but your heart's going to give you the best answer, way better than anything that I can give you. But I'm going to give you the best I can with these cards here. Next up we have from the 1JJ Swiss deck, we've got the blank card. Ooh, that doesn't come up very often. That's cool. So the blank card is blank, right? There's no meaning to it. It's an open book. It's still a maybe. So this is so funny. This is great. Yeah, the reading is really being like, yeah, they have the answer. You don't have the answer. I'm not giving you an answer. They're not going to give me an answer to your question. You have the answer to your question, with it being blank. And it's like, it's open. Your life is an open book. It could be either yes or no. This is a strong maybe. This is the strongest maybe I've ever had, you know, because I have 3 methods. It's going to have to lean one way or the other. But it's a barely leaning no at this point. It's a barely leaning no. This is a strong maybe. It's the strongest maybe I've ever had. So I don't know. I don't know what the answer is. You know the answer. Your heart knows the answer. Your heart's going to tell you the right thing, more than I can tell you in this. Next up, you have 2 cards from the Rider-Waite Smith deck. This deck is officially called the Universal Waite Tarot deck, just if you want this specific one. But there are many versions of the classic Rider-Waite Smith deck that this happens to be one version of. We've got the King of Swords and the Strength card. Cool. So, you know, with the Strength card here, it's really about this balance, especially with the infinity symbol above her head here. It's a strong balancing energy, with, you know, balancing your compassion and your strength. You know, your strength comes from this fierce ability to go out and make something happen and fearlessly charging forward, and having your deep compassion calm your spirit, calm that energy, and calm yourself. So, and then with that calming energy, you have that reflected here with the King of Swords, who, you know, sometimes can be depicted or assumed to be a cold individual, but he's actually not. He's not cold at all. He has deep emotions, but see, his emotions are represented by this red coat here that's cloaked by this purple cloak of his calmness. So he has his emotions. He's a very emotional person, and, you know, and and experiences these emotions, but then he calms himself down with his cloak here. He calms himself, calms his energy, and is able to make some stuff happen because of that, you know. And he follows the perspective that comes from his mind, you know. He's very analytical, and so he's able to have his emotions and then let them inform himself, but he doesn't charge forward making decisions from his emotions. He makes his decisions from his mind. So he allows himself to have his emotions. He gives his emotions their due time, and he feels his emotions very deeply, and then he lets them go, and then he makes his decisions moving forward. So, you know, with that coming in, it's this balance, and we got these horns here. That means confirmation for whatever I'm talking about, at least to my guides. That's how I always interpret it. So, you know, we've got this balance here between the head and the heart, right? And that's that balance that's being reflected here as well. And with that blank card as well, it's like the answer to your question is going to come from uniting your heart center with your mind. It's uniting the mental and the emotional bodies in order to move forward. So you need to have that balance in order to make this decision. And so without that balance happening, that's why we're in a strong it could go up in the air, right? Your answer to your question could go either way. And it's like, it's really about you coming into a sense of balance within yourself between your emotions and your mind. Getting full clear 100% on all of that is going to help you make this choice. Next up, we have 2 cards from my hand-drawn deck. I drew this deck myself. Let's check out what those are. We've got the 6 of Wands, and we've got the Knight of Swords. So the 6 of Wands is the victory card. So you're going to be victorious with whatever choice you make. So however you move forward, whatever the outcome is, regardless of your choices, like the ultimate outcome for you is success. The ultimate outcome for you is victory. So whatever happens, you're going to be victorious. Just keep that in mind. But if you do this work to unite the head and the heart, like, it's going to help you bring in this victory easier and achieve it the best way possible for you, you know, the most ultimate outcome for yourself. And then we have the Knight of Swords here. And so for me, the Knights are always about this sort of, the Knights always represent what movement is happening in the reading. It talks about the change, the energy of movement that's happening within this reading. What is that? And for it to be in the swords, that means it's in the mind, it's in the mental body, the mental sphere. So it's really about a change of perspective that's coming in for you. If you felt like you resonated at all with pile number 2, that's all about changing perspective. So that could potentially give you some further insight, that reading. But with this in here, I'm just getting this sense of it really being about moving your mind, changing your perspective, changing the way that you think about the situation in order to get the outcome that you need, you know? And that the outcome that you need might not be what you originally thought it to be when you were just in your head. When you unite your head with your heart, you might start to see that it might be a different outcome that's the best for you, you know? So keep your options open, keep your mind open your heart, open your perspective, open your mind in order to get the best outcome that's the right one for you. Final card we have comes from the Shamanic Healing Oracle, and this I'm going to read directly from the book itself. So you get somebody else's perspective, you get a slightly different understanding of things than just my words. And it's the discernment. So yeah, that's more about this like perspective shifting. It's like really discerning what's the best thing for you, really discerning what you want. And that's what with this blank card here, it's all about what you want. And you have the power to choose whichever option is best for you. You have that power. So it's really about you utilizing that power that you have to really make the decision that's best for you in this moment, right here, right now, for you, for your heart, for your mind, for all of it. So learning how to discern what that is. I'm going to read discernment from the book. So you've got somebody else's words. As spiritual, physical, and energetic beings, we oftentimes blur the lines between our energy, the energy of a situation, and the energy of another person. When we take on another person's energy and label it as our own, we start to judge. This lowers our energetic vibrations. When we then get caught up in a seemingly never-ending cycle of feeling bad, labeling, justifying, and appropriating what is not ours to claim. The lesson here, as in the previous card, which was the psychic development card, is to be present, not label or judge, and let the energy / feeling wash through you. Once you do this, notice where in your body you feel the effects of the emotion. So yeah, this is exactly it. Coming back into your body, not just being so stuck in your head about it, but coming back into your body, coming into your heart space. Once you do this, notice where in your body you feel the effects of the emotion. Does your heart open up? Does your belly hurt? Does your throat get tight? Your head can lie to you, but your body never does. It is easy to become overwhelmed. Make a habit of making your first response to overwhelming energy, "Wow, that's interesting," instead of "What's wrong with me?" This allows you to objectively discover how and why your body is reacting to the given situation or person. This card is asking you to stop looking outside of yourself for answers. So that's exactly what I was saying. You got the answer, not me in this one. This card is asking you to stop looking outside of yourself for answers to an issue. Instead, and we got a horn there, double confirmation of that. Instead, sit with it and listen to what your body is telling you. All right, so there you go, friend. Pile number 3, I'm gonna leave it there. That was a pretty cool reading. So if you liked it, if it resonates with you, feel free to let me know in the comments. Either way, I love hearing from you. Please subscribe to the channel if you can. I'm growing it. I'm really excited. We're getting closer and closer to 1,000, so that's going to be really awesome. When we do that, there's going to be some awesome giveaways, so stay tuned for that. Subscribe to the channel for more readings. Yeah, if you ever want a private reading with me, I have them available on my website. Check that out at www.junodrum.com. I have a few options available for you, so really please do check that out. I would love to give you a reading and help you out. So yeah, and then I've got a Patreon as another way for you to help support me. You can check that out at www.patreon.com/junodrum. So anyway, friends, I hope you have a wonderful day, and I hope that was helpful for you. Catch you later. See ya. Hey there, pile number 4. Welcome to your reading. This is your reading for what is the answer to your yes or no question. So normally when I do this, we have 3 different methods for generating a yes or a no first, and then we go into the cards. Unfortunately, my dice are in a box somewhere because I just moved and I'm not sure which box they're in. So we've got 2 coins for you today. Hopefully you're okay with that. In the future, I'll end up having 3 different methods again. It's just moving, it does that to you, right? You might also notice I don't have my normal tiger's eye pendulum. I've got this one from the Kresner's psychic whatever game from the 60s that I have lying around. So it's this fun little mid-century plastic one, but it works really well. I kind of like the weight and action of it a little bit more than that tiger's eye one, surprisingly. So yeah, things are a little different today, but we're still going to generate these answers for you. So what is the answer to your yes or no question? We'll dive right in to the pendulum first. So pendulum, we got to ask it a couple questions to get make sure it's working, and then we'll ask the question, the answer to your question. So first off, are there boxes sitting in front of me? Yes, there are. Am I still in my old apartment right now? No, I moved to a new one. It's so exciting. I've got my own apartment for the first time, friends. This is so great for me. It's a small studio, but man, am I so happy to be here. So next question, am I wearing shoes right now? No, I am not. Are there candles in front of me? Yes, there are. Okay, great. What is the answer to pile number 4's question? All right, it's staying on a yes, friends. So the pendulum is saying yes. Let's ask the coins. First up, we have the Mercury dime. Mercury dime. We'll ask the Mercury dime. What is the answer to the question? Yes or no? Heads or tails? You got a heads, so that's 2 yeses. 2 yeses so far. We're gonna ask this final coin for yes or no, and it is a 20-cent euro piece. And somebody mentioned when I used it the last time, they were like, the woman on the coin has a head, so that should be heads. So you're right. Obviously, that makes sense. So we're gonna call the side with the woman who has a head heads, and we're gonna call the side that just says 20 euro cent. We're gonna call that tails, just to make things obvious. And you got a tails. Okay, that's the euro cent side, so that's tails. So it's a maybe leaning yes. We're thinking probably yes, possibly yes, possible no, so who knows? It's a maybe. We're going to talk to the cards and kind of get a better understanding of why it's a maybe, a better understanding of what's going on in your situation. But if you're looking for a yes, we're still leaning yes, so don't give up hope in that. If you're looking for a no, there's a possibility it's not a yes, but for all intents and purposes, as things are going right now, without any changes being made, because remember, you have free will in this life to make anything happen. You can go out there and change your destiny like that, because it's up to you. It's your life. So it's like, with that free will, you know, as of right now, things are leaning towards it being a yes, but you have the power to change those options if you want. First card is the Gentleman card. Okay, so the Gentleman card here to me talks, whenever I get this card, it's this idea that, you know, don't judge a book by its cover. That's how I interpret this. So it's this idea that, you know, he's a very unassuming looking rice farmer, probably in Southeast Asia somewhere, Cambodia, Laos, Vietnam, just based on his dress. These hats are from Southeast Asia. So, you know, he's this very, very thin, unassuming, kind of small looking man. And so he might be written off by a lot of people as, oh, he's just whatever, you know, he's not, you know, whatever. But if you see behind him, he's got this deeply strong, powerful tiger behind him. So it's like he's actually this really, really strong, powerful tiger, but you'd never guess it by just looking at him. So, you know, take that for you. Maybe you're more strong than you give yourself enough credit for, you know? And so for it to be leaning yes with a possible no, it's sort of like this idea that like maybe people would assume for your question that like you wouldn't be able to make it happen or something like that. But in reality, you have the power to make anything happen, regardless of what people say to you, you know, and what people have led you to think about yourself. You're really this deeply strong, powerful tiger, and you can make anything happen in your life. You can turn that no into a yes if you want it to be. You have the power to make your life into whatever it needs to be for yourself. Next up, we have two cards from the 1JJ Swiss deck. We've got the 5, 6, 7, 8 of swords. Okay, and we've got the Ace of Cups. Okay, interesting. So along with that, you might have been feeling really blocked in your life about this situation. You know, for it to be a maybe leaning yes, it's like maybe you've been feeling blocked in this, and you've been feeling like you can't make this happen, or that it's not going to happen, you know, or that the cards are aligning for it not to happen, and oh, I wish it could happen, kind of a thing, you know, because the Eight of Swords is all about feeling bound. In the Rider-Waite-Smith deck, it's depicted as a woman who is blindfolded and kind of tied up to these swords. But the thing about it is, she's only really loosely tied, and the blindfold is already falling off her face. So it's this idea that you have the power to take the blindfold off. You have the ability to control your own destiny, to get out of whatever this situation is. It's just a matter of you doing it. Like all you have to do is kind of wiggle your arms a little bit to break free, then you can pull that off and walk away from whatever this situation is. So it's like you have the tools at your disposal to leave whatever situation is happening that's making you feel stuck right now. And it's just a matter of you doing it, right? It's a matter of you taking those steps, doing that action to make it happen. We got a horn outside. To me, horns coming in a reading is a confirmation of whatever I was just talking about. So it's just further confirmation to that it's like you have the tools at your disposal to make this happen. And when you do that, when you release yourself from the situation, you have a new beginning coming in, and it's a new beginning towards emotional fulfillment. You can make yourself happy. You can make your life be whatever you want it to be to bring in this ultimate happiness for yourself. It's just a matter of you doing it, you taking the steps and the actions necessary in order to bring in your ultimate happiness. But that's coming in for you if you choose it, right? It's a leaning yes. Possibly yes, but it's like it's only a yes if you make it into a yes, you know? And if you wanted a no, you can make it into a no, but it might take a little bit of work in order for that to happen, right? And so it's a matter of you taking charge of your situation, of your life, of whatever's going on, and using the tools that you have at your disposal to create the outcome that you actually want for yourself. And when you do that work, if you do that work, you can create the outcome you want for yourself. It's just a matter of you doing it. Next up, we have a card from the Universal Waite Deck, is what this is officially called. It's the classic Rider-Waite-Smith deck, of which there are many versions. But if you want this specific version with this particular back and everything, it's called the Universal Waite Tarot Deck. We've got the Justice card. Yeah, Justice is all about that balance. It's that reaping what you sow. So if you want whatever outcome you want for yourself, if you put in the work and you do the actions to make it happen, you can make it happen. If you don't do that work, it won't happen, right? It's like it's ultimate. It can be the karma card for that reason. It's like you reap what you sow. You get the outcome that you put the work in for. So it's like, if you want to make something happen, you have all the tools at your disposal to get out there and make it happen. But if you don't do the work, if you don't get out there and happen, you know, then it can't come in. So it's all about you, you know, if you want to get out of whatever situation is making you feel stuck right now, you can 100% do that. You have all the tools at your disposal to make it happen. You have, you know, you can do it. It might take changing your perspective, though. It might take shifting some things around. It might take putting in a lot of work and effort in order to make it happen. But if you're willing to do that, then you can make it happen for yourself. 100%. There's nothing stopping you but you. You're the only one stopping you in this situation. Next up, we have one card from my hand-drawn deck. I drew this deck myself, and it is the Eight of Pentacles. Yeah, exactly. It's just like further confirmation for this, right? So it's like, the fun thing about the Eight of Pentacles is it's the work card. It's all about putting in hard work and making stuff happen because of it. So it's like, especially if this is some kind of business thing that you want to make happen, or you're like, will I be successful? Or, you know, will I be able to make my business work? Or, you know, will I be able to get a new job? Will I be able to, any of those kinds of questions, if this was it, you know, this is just more confirmation of like, yes, 100%. The answer is yes, if you put in the hard work necessary to make it happen. If you just sit back and expect the universe to do all the work for you, it's not going to come in, right? Because we co-create this life with the universe. The universe is here, you know, especially with manifestation work. Like, the universe is ready, willing, 100% down to help you make stuff happen. They're going to help you make it happen. They want to. But you got to put in the little effort that's necessary to help the universe out to make it happen too. It's a give and a take. It's a balance. So it's like, if you put in the hard work, you can get this new beginning, and it's ready here for you. And remember, you had this Gentleman card. It's very unassuming. You have more power and strength and ability to make your life what you want it to be than you think you do. That's what I'm getting from this. You have more control and ability and possibility within yourself and your life and your situation to make whatever you want happen than you might believe possible. So keep that in mind. Final card comes from the Shamanic Healing Oracle, and this is the past, present, and future card. Oops. Which is cool. That's a neat one. So it's all about, you know, being in a balance of past, present, and future. I'm going to read this directly from the book so you get somebody else's words and not just my own. So let's read it. Integrating past, present, and future. We all arrive on this earth with a plan. We all have lessons to learn. In the process of learning these lessons, most of us will encounter experiences that we will label as bad, quote unquote. Excuse me. This labeling and duality we carry with us wherever we go is what we call our so-called baggage. When we let these labels direct our reactions to life and experiences in the present, or even project them into the future, we are working with a lower energy vibration. When you are able to integrate your lessons without labels, then you are free to remain in the present experience and enjoy it for what it truly is. You can then move forward into the future without expectations or agendas and be more open to what will be for our highest and best. Let go of labels and judgments surrounding this situation. All right, friends. Well, there you go. So, if you've been experiencing some difficult situations, especially with this blockages card, it's all about changing your perspective on it. You continue to put yourself into the situation of feeling bound if you allow that to be your reality. But if you think instead, okay, these are all the things that happened to me that have made me feel stuck. Let me learn the lessons that are coming from those things instead of just wallowing in them, instead of just being like, oh, I can't believe this is how it is, and blah, 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 allowing yourself to be stuck in that. Instead say, okay, what has this thing taught me? And I hear more horns outside, so that's double confirmation for that. What has this thing taught me? What has this situation that I've been in taught me to understand? And how can I change that experience that I was in into wisdom? Life is all about, when we are able to exchange our experiences into the wisdom that they teach us, we can let go of needing to perpetuate that experience from continuing to enter into our lives, right? We can learn the lesson that experience and that patterning was trying to teach us and let go of it and finally move into a new thing and be open to the new thing that's coming in, right? So it's, it might take some work to do this, but you have the tools at your disposal to do it. And you're way, way, way stronger and more powerful than you give yourself enough credit for. You got a new beginning that's coming in for you. And as long as you put in that work, you're going to receive the rewards. You can get out of whatever energy you're feeling stuck in. So anyway, pile number 4, that was my reading for you. I hope that it resonates. Feel free to let me know in the comments what you think of it either way. I love hearing from everybody. If you're new to the channel, please subscribe. I'm almost at 1,000 subscribers. We're in the 600s as I'm recording this. And I'm so excited to continue this channel and keep bringing you stuff. So please stick with it. Check out more of my readings. I got a ton of them on my channel. And yeah, thank you so much for joining me. I will catch you all later. Pile number 4. See ya. Oh, if you ever want a private reading with me, I have them available on my website. Feel free to check that out at www.junodrome.com. And I've got a Patreon with more ways for you to help support me and check out some bonus content. That's at patreon.com/junodrome. Catch you later. Hey there, pile number 5. Welcome to your reading on what is the answer to your yes or no question. So I have 3 different methods of generating a yes or a no. Normally I have 3 separate different things, but at the moment I don't know where my dice are. I just moved into a new apartment and everything is still kind of in boxes. So all I have are 2 coins for you today and the pendulum. So bear with me on that. It'll be different moving forward, so hopefully that's okay for you all. My pendulum, you might notice, isn't my normal tiger's eye one. I happen to have this plastic one from a board game called Kresner's Psychic something or other from the 60s. So you got this cool little 60s plastic pendulum in this reading today, which honestly, I actually kind of like the weight of it better than my normal one, so maybe I'll use it more often. So we're going to start with asking yes or no from the pendulum. We're going to triangulate it first just to make sure it's working by asking some questions I know the answer to. So is there an empty bubbly water can in front of me? The answer is yes. I should put it in the recycling. Am I wearing shoes? No, I am not. Correct. I am not wearing shoes. Is this a new table that I'm sitting at for the channel? Yes, it is. This will be my table moving forward because I moved into a new apartment and needed to get a smaller table. So here we are. Finally, what is the answer to yes to pile number 5's question? It's no. It changed to a no. So the pendulum is saying no. You've got one no so far. We're going to ask the 2 coins first to get a yes, no, or maybe. Well, now it's going to be either a no or a maybe. Heads or tails from the first coin. This is a Mercury dime I've got. Oh, I guess that counts. You got a heads. Well, no, I didn't feel. I'm going to. Oh, it's just jumping out of my hands today. All right, nope, it's a tails. We're calling that a tails. The first time didn't feel right. That one feels better. Okay, so you got two tails. So that's a double no. Let's ask the final coin. This is some this isn't a real coin because it doesn't have any denominations on it. It's just like a Thomas Jefferson coin that's not worth anything. I don't know, commemorative coin. There we go. So, everything's jumping out of my hands today. So I don't know if that means anything to you, pile number 5, but you got this jumping energy. Heads on the coin. So it's a maybe leaning no. All maybes today. It's interesting. All of the readings were maybes, so that's kind of cool. But leaning no, probably no, but still a possibility of yes. As things are going right now, as conditions are moving through life and through your life and your situation, if you were to change nothing and continue on the path that you're on, you're probably going to get a no. But if you make the effort to change, you can make this into a yes if you need it to be. So let's ask the cards a little bit more to get a better understanding of what this is all about. First card comes from the Fairytale Lenormand. We've got the fox. The fox is very cunning, and he's depicted with this kind of Robin Hood energy here as well. So it's like this idea of giving to the rich or giving to the poor, taking from the rich, right? That kind of thing. So it's this exchange, this balance. You've got some balance energy and some witty, cunning energy. So, you're being asked to be cunning in your situation. It's a leaning no right now, but it can be a yes. If you wanted it to be a yes, it's you can make that happen, but it might take a lot of mental energy to figure some things out to change the situation, right? So that's a potential. And then also, like I was saying, that give and that take, that balance, not being afraid to balance things out in your situation a little bit more. We've got 2 cards from the Wild Unknown Tarot. We've got the 6 of Cups here, and we've got the Moon. Okay, so the Moon is coming in with that idea that, you don't quite know all of the information right now, right? It's you're kind of in the dark about things. You don't really know exactly what's going on. So it's really asking you to use that cunning and to tune into your intuition. This can be the intuition card as well, of really tuning into your intuitive understandings, that your intuition knows the right way forward more than you think you do, right? With the moon here, it's this idea that you can't always see, in the moonlight, if you're walking along a pathway, you can't see everything that's in front of you, but you can still see a little bit of a pathway to move forward. So just keep that in mind as you're moving through life, that you might not have all the answers, but you can still try to find the pathway forward. But it's going to take some cunning with that fox here. It's going to take some smarts. And then, the tree in the symbolism can talk about patience. It can talk about weathering storms, It's really rooting yourself deep into the earth. As the tree grows its roots down into the earth, it also grows up. So you can't see everything that's going on. Same with that situation about in the moonlight, right? As the tree's going up, all that we see is the tree growing. We don't see the tree's roots going deep into the earth. And so it's in order to get the outcome that you want, in order to grow tall, you also have to plant yourself down, which connects to that balancing energy I was talking about before as well. So remember, you're leaning no, but it's a possible yes. So maybe it's if you wanted it to be a yes, it can be a yes in time with patience. If you develop this patience and you allow yourself to first develop roots, root yourself into the earth, ground yourself. Grounding can really help you too. In this moment, ground yourself into the present. I have a grounding meditation on my channel, by the way. Maybe that could help you out in this moment. So feel free to check that out. But really grounding your energy into the earth, and planting roots, right? Taking the time to set up your roots, to get everything in the right order first, and then you'll be able to jump up and make something happen, right? Next, we have 1 card from the 1JJ Swiss deck. We've got the 5, 6, 7, 8 of Cups. which is about moving on and moving out of a situation. It's like letting go of a situation from the way that it is and moving into something new. So, you know, maybe that's part of it as well. Maybe you have to let go of some things in your life right now. You know, with it leaning no, it's like you got to let go of a lot of stuff first in order for it to be a yes, if you wanted a yes. If you wanted no, then it's just a further confirmation that, you know, you're moving on this path of letting things go, right? You're able to let things out of your life with it. You're able to say no to the things in life that you don't want, you know? And it's encouraging you to do that. It's okay to do that. It's okay to say no, you know? It's okay to let things go. It's okay to not always have to make things a yes, you know? And so just like really feel okay about doing that. Feel okay about letting things go. Feel okay about, you know, moving on from a situation. Next up, we have one card from the Universal Waite Tarot deck. And it's the Tower. Ooh, powerful. Okay, so yeah, I think that you're in this position to, you know, have some major change happening in your life, which is kind of reflected in this Eight of Cups here as well. It's an external change. The Tower comes in when, you know, it's stuff external to us is changing, and a lot of times too, the Tower is a change that comes that you don't expect, right? So you know, be prepared for, you know, a major change in your life to come in, and it's like a deeply external change. Stuff about your external situation, they tend to come out of nowhere with the Tower, are going to come in to test you or to change you, you know? And with that Eight of Cups here, it's like, be okay with moving on from things, you know? I see a FedEx truck here that says ground, so we're going back into that grounding information as well. Really ground your energy. Check out that grounding meditation. I think that can really help you. So if you're going through a major change in your life and you don't really know what's going on and everything's changing, the best way moving forward, you might not see all of this stuff here, but you're really being encouraged to use as much cunning and wit and wisdom that you have, and ground your energy into the earth, ground yourself, plant yourself into the earth, and move on from all the things that aren't serving you, you know? Let go of the things that are ready to be let go of. This Tower moment is coming into your life to show you what you can release, what you can let go of, what is not meant for you. So really embrace that, really embrace it and allow it to happen. You know, allow yourself to let those things go. Finally, next up, we have one card from my hand-drawn deck, and it's the Ten of Cups. So you have ultimate happiness here for you. The Ten of Cups is this ultimately emotionally balanced, well-off, deeply happy state. So in order for you to get to this happiness, you got to let go of some things first. But that happiness wants to come into your life, and it's going to come in through this cataclysmic change, you know? So you have this deep, crazy feeling, potentially change that's going to come in order for you to allow this new beginning to come in for yourself, you know? In order for this happiness to come in, you might need to let go of some things first and really ground yourself and ground your energy. The final card comes from the Shamanic Healing Oracle, which I'm going to read directly from the book, and it's this duality. So it's really that balance, that give and a take, where it's like with this Tower, it's like sometimes deeply challenging and difficult situations come into our lives, that might seem on the face of it to be not so great, right? We might label it as bad, quote unquote, but in reality, that challenging situation is here to open you up to this emotional fulfillment, right? And in order for this emotional fulfillment and deep set happiness to actually come into your life, you got to go through some challenging stuff first in order to give yourself the opening and the space to let it in. So let's read that from the deck, just so you got somebody else's words to help you along in this reading and not just my own. Black and white, good and evil, yes and no, up and down, and want and don't want. These are all examples of dualistic thinking. What if you banned these labels from your thoughts for a day? What would happen? Would the world end? Doubtful. Would some person get away with something? No. Would you attach less emotion to a bad situation or drama? Possibly. If that happened and there was less attachment to a situation, you could keep your vibrations higher, which would enable you to deal more successfully with any situation that comes your way. Given enough time, most bad situations work out in the end. It is your choice to be drama-free or spend a lot of time and energy wasted on a situation that will turn out okay in the end. Which do you choose? So anyway, pile number 5, that was my reading for you. I hope that it resonates. Feel free to let me know in the comments what you think of it. I love hearing from everybody, so please let me know. If you're new to the channel, please subscribe. I would love to have you joining me. I'm almost at 1,000, and I'm going to be doing some more fun giveaways and stuff when we reach there, so keep out for that. If you want a private reading with me, I can get way more detailed about you and your life and your situation. Feel free to check those out at www.junodrum.com. And finally, I have a Patreon that you can help support me further. That's available at patreon.com/junodrum. So anyway, friends, catch you later. Hope you have a great day. And thank you so much for tuning in. I'm happy to be back in action with all of you. I'm going to be bringing you a lot more readings moving forward. So yeah, stick with it. Tune in. See ya.